power. What kind of power? Come on, people. Hey, we here. We're one community. We need to let them know.
I'm a professor of political science. I'm a school board trustee for the Visalia Unified School District. But before I was any of those things, I was a child growing up right here in Bakersfield. A child that was hungry, and at times was wondering where his next meal was going to come from. Growing up, my family worked jobs that paid too damn little to afford the bills. So every weekend, we get up at 6 a.m. to go work at the swap meet so we could make ends meet. And later on, I grew up working at my family's auto shop to make sure that my family had everything that we needed to survive. My mother was one of the 40,000 plus women in this district who relied on programs like WIC to make sure we had baby formula, to make sure I was fed and my siblings were fed. As I grew up, I learned to love school, both because I was hungry for knowledge and also hungry for food. And that was one of the places where I knew I would have a warm meal because of free and reduced breakfast and lunch programs. And just last month, House Republicans announced a plan to cut $12 billion in funding from school meals. That's right. I don't know how these politicians and how these cowards would even think about taking meals from hungry children like me. We know very clearly that we have a healthcare crisis in this country. I want you to raise your hand if you or someone you love relies on programs like Medicaid, SNAP, or WIC. Look at all these hands. I want you to keep raising your hand, or raise your hand if you or a loved one has had to not go to the doctor or the hospital because you were afraid that you couldn't afford it. Look around you. This should not be happening in the richest country in the history of the world.
Preach it!
And rather than trying to expand Medicaid, rather than trying to guarantee health care as a human right, Congressman Valadao, why are you trying to take our health care away? We need champions who are going to fight for working families. 2 out of every 3 bankruptcies in the United States are tied to medical debt. Let me say that again. 2 out of every 3 bankruptcies in the United States are tied to medical debt. That doesn't happen in other countries around the world, and it shouldn't be happening here.
Right.
And these Republicans want to cut $880 billion for Medicaid, from SNAP, for WIC. Why? So they can give the wealthiest Americans, our top 1%, $1.1 trillion in tax cuts. And for what? So that Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos or Mark Zuckerberg can go buy another private island or a yacht? These are billionaires that don't give a shit about how much our eggs cost in grocery stores right now. These are billionaires, these are oligarchs who don't care what happens if one of us gets sick and our family can't afford to pay the bills, because they know that they'll be able to afford their bills. Congressman Valadao has a health care plan as a member of Congress. And I think he should use that health care plan to schedule a physical, because he needs to look for that spine that he's been missing for the last I'm spending the morning today because I'm ready to fight for working families. I'm ready to fight for the Central Valley. We know that Medicaid helps mothers with their babies, with formula, with labor and delivery. It helps us take care of our loved ones, our disabled ones in the community, and get the health care that they need to thrive and survive. Earlier last week, I spoke to someone who works at health centers in Tulare, who was working with a mother who has a child with cancer right now, a pediatric cancer patient who relies on Medicaid to make sure that they're able to fight for their lives. And I'm here to tell you that nobody should be fighting cancer and their congressman at the same time.
That's right.
Nobody in this country, nobody in this community, nobody in the Central Valley should be fighting cancer and their congressman at the same time.
Never.
For far too long, the Central Valley has been left behind by politicians who are more in love with power than they are with people. by politicians like Valadao and Fong and McCarthy who care more about serving corporations than our communities. Our families, our farmers, our veterans, our students deserve better. I'm here to fight for you. I'm here to fight with you for a future to believe in. And I'm here to fight for someone that I don't know. And I know that all of you are as well.
That's right, yeah.
I gotta say, I hope that Congressman Valadao grows the spine to do the right thing and to save Medicaid. But even if he doesn't, why did he even let this vote go through in the first place? Why did he vote to move this budget proposal forward in the first place? I think our voters are going to remember that in 2026.
Yeah!
Our family, our people, our community deserve better. And I'll leave you with this. I know that there's an old saying that it takes a village, but as I look around this room at all of the hundreds, possibly thousands of people who showed up today in Bakersfield, and not just for Bakersfield, where's Tulare and Kings at in the house? That's right, we got folks who came all the way here to fight for our communities. And they say it takes a village, but we know it takes a valley.
Yeah, that's right.
Representative Ro Khanna.
The applause is not for me, it's for all of you. You're big, give yourselves a round of applause. I didn't know, they told me Randy was loved around here. I didn't know you were that good, huh? I mean, you're the type of guy who would make a pretty good congressman. In America, leaders don't hide from people.
No, never.
That's why I'm here. To listen to you and to try to give voice to your concerns. But I have a simple request. Representative Valadao, show up here next weekend.
Yeah.
I'm the congressman from Silicon Valley, and we do a lot of things virtually, but I think Bakersfield deserves better than virtual representation. People here don't need congresspeople parading in because they can't meet their own member of Congress. Right. And, you know this. I've known Representative Valadao for a long time. We talk to each other. I don't understand why he just doesn't come here and explain what he's doing. 67% of folks in this district rely on Medicaid. Medicaid is the largest health insurance program with 90 million people in the world. And David Valadao is more loyal to Donald Trump than he is to the people in this district. And the reality is, he voted to cut $880 billion of funding in Medicaid. Why? To give tax breaks to the top 1% and billionaires. No. And he doesn't have the guts to explain why he did that. Now look, I'm not here just for the politics of it. I'd much rather that he change his vote, which is going to come up in 6 months, and we not have people without health care, and not have hospitals closed, and not have people suffer. That's why I'm here. We need 3 Republicans. 3 Republicans to prevent the cuts to Medicaid. And that's what I want him to show up. I want him to hear your stories. I want him to have some kind of heart. I want him to understand the devastation that is taking place and for him to change his vote and not vote for the $880 billion of cuts. One more thing I want to say before we really open it up to hear your concerns and your stories and your criticisms. You can ask me anything, so don't hold back. We make a promise to people who wear the uniform in this country.
Yeah.
Do we have any veterans here? Woo! Will you stand up? The veterans stand up. Here's a promise that we made. If you wear the country's uniform and you go to Iraq or you go to Afghanistan and you risk your life, when you come back, we will treat you with dignity and respect.
That's right.
We will not fire you on a whim. 1/3 of people who are federal employees are veterans. And here's what I want to know. What right does Donald Trump have, who never wore the nation's uniform? What right does Elon Musk have, who never wore the nation's uniform?
Yes! Yes!
And fire a veteran.
Yes! All right. No right.
It is the biggest betrayal of people who risk their lives for this country, and I will not stand for it, and neither should you. Together, we will prevail. We represent a vision that you respect veterans. We represent a vision that people should have health care. We represent a vision that it's fine to make wealth, but you don't have greed, that you want tax breaks on top of me making billions so that people don't have education or health care. We have the values that built this country. We just need to show up, speak out, and go across this country and speaking up for the unions that built the middle class. That's right. So I'm getting more love here in Bakersfield than my own district. That gives me hope. That gives me hope, because this is happening across the country. It's across our state. Americans, look. We fought a revolution. I was flabbergasted. Donald Trump was saying, let's go become part of the British Commonwealth again. I said, we fought a revolution in this country. We fought a revolution because we don't expect or will tolerate being ruled by a president or a billionaire. We are citizens with dignity and pride, and we will make the decision for America. And Elon Musk. Thank you for being here.
I can feel the heat. And most of you in the room that are creating that heat is for a reason. Heat is something. Heat is energy. Energy is power. And power is something that can change the world. Do you feel like we can go out there and stop these cuts if we stick together?
Yes, we can!
I want Congressman Valadao to hear every single word that was spoken here today. I want him to hear from every single person that relies on Medicaid for their life-saving prescriptions and health care and to care for their children. Are we going to let them take that away from us? No! So when I say, are you ready to fight? You say, damn right. Are you ready to fight? Damn right! Are you ready to fight? Damn right! Are you ready to fight? Damn right!
If Valadao would have voted the right way, Medicaid would have been saved. That's right.
Stop that! Stop that! Stop that! Stop that!
This is what it comes down to. Getting involved in the community, talking to your family members, knocking on doors, making phone calls. We have all the opportunity for you to do what you need to do to put the pressure on this man to do the right thing. Are we going to step up and do it? Yes or no?
Yes!
Are we ready to fight?
Yes!